All right, let's give this a go. Almost feels like my blood vessels are illuminating within my brain. Oh, Blue Lotus.
Huh?
Oh, he wants to sip it. This video is for educational, research, and documentary purposes only. Although Blue Lotus is a legal botanical, I am not promoting or glorifying the use of any substance. Imagine a flower so historically revered that the ancient Egyptians painted it on their walls, infused it into sacred rituals, and even buried it with their pharaohs. That flower is the Blue Lotus, and today I'm going to show you why it's been treasured and utilized for thousands of years. On this channel, I've reviewed roughly 200 different substances, from nootropics to psychedelics, and in this video I'll break down what Blue Lotus is, what it feels like, why people take it, and then I'll try it myself live on camera using various forms so you'll know exactly what to expect. We're going to try some Blue Lotus gummies. We're gonna brew some tea with the dried flower, and we're gonna give the raw extract a taste as well. But first, let's talk about what Blue Lotus is. Traditionally, the Blue Lotus is a sacred water lily cherished in ancient Egypt and parts of East Africa for its calming and mildly psychoactive properties. Blue Lotus has been used to promote relaxation, elevate mood, and support mental clarity. Think of it as a natural way to unwind without being totally mind-bending or overpowering like stronger psychedelics. These effects mainly come from compounds like luciferin, which acts as a gentle relaxant, and apomorphine, which stimulates dopamine signaling. Blue Lotus carries deep historical roots and is surrounded by captivating lore. Ancient Egyptians considered it sacred, and it was often used in rituals, art, and infused in wine and teas dating all the way back to the year 3000 BC. They believed this herb to be a symbol of the afterlife, rebirth, and spiritual awakening. Priests and pharaohs regarded it as a bridge between the physical and spiritual realms and would often use it as an offering to the gods. Over time, the blue water lily became associated with states of heightened consciousness, relaxation, and even love, earning its place as both a spiritual icon and a cherished botanical. Knowing this, it's easy to see why the flower has such a mystical reputation that persists even to this day. In current times, Blue Lotus is still used by many people across the globe. For most individuals, it's about relaxation. Blue Lotus has this gentle, calming quality that makes it a popular choice for winding down at the end of the day. People often describe it as helping with stress, anxiety, and sleep without being too heavy or overly sedating. Some also take it for the mood lift. It's not euphoric in a psychedelic sense, but more of a subtle feel-good effect, like a natural mellow buzz that smooths out anxiety.
Ah, refreshing.
Another reason people take it is for dream enhancement. Many users claim it makes their dreams more vivid, colorful, and memorable, which is why it can be used for potentiating lucid dreaming. Overall, most people describe the experience of Blue Lotus as calming, soothing, and lightly euphoric. Remember that it's not a hard psychedelic like mushrooms or LSD. The effects are much more subtle. At lower doses, Blue Lotus can give a gentle sense of relaxation in the body and provide a light mood lift, almost like a calm, floaty happiness. In higher amounts, some describe it as a mild empathogen, similar to an MDMA light experience, fostering feelings of love, gratitude, and empathy. Granted, it's nowhere near as intense as MDMA. One of the oldest traditional uses for Blue Lotus is as a natural aphrodisiac, meaning that it can be used to gently increase intimacy and sensuality. Its mildly euphoric and relaxing effects were thought to open the heart and calm the mind, creating an atmosphere more conducive to love and affection. Regarding the dosage and duration, it can slightly vary depending on the form that is consumed. For the gummies, effects usually start within 20 to 60 minutes after eating them. They tend to last about 2 to 4 hours with a gradual come down. Gummies are typically dosed anywhere between 300 to 500 milligrams. Eating just 1 to 2 gummies will usually do the trick, while taking over 3 will give for a more energetic experience. When it comes to tea made from the dried flowers, the onset is a little quicker, usually 10 to 30 minutes after drinking. The duration is similar, about 2 to 4 hours, depending on the amount used. Steeping roughly 5 grams or so of dried flowers in hot water is a common way to prepare the tea. With the extract, people often report that a small amount can feel noticeably stronger. A common sweet spot that comes up in user reports is around 1 to 3 grams, although extracts can vary a lot in potency. Onset is usually within 20 to 40 minutes, and the total duration lasts in that same 2 to 4 hour range. No matter which form, gummies, tea, or extract, Blue Lotus tends to be a short to medium lasting experience with a fairly smooth rise and fall compared to many other substances.
Smooth. Very smooth stuff. Very classy.
Regarding the side effects, Blue Lotus is generally considered mild and low risk, but there are a few things to keep in mind. Side effects can include mild drowsiness or sleepiness, dry mouth, or occasional nausea, especially if you take too much. Blue Lotus is not considered to be addictive, and there are no reported cases of overdose from the flower itself. Reports of adverse effects are typically linked to synthetic additives or impure contaminants rather than the actual plant.
Well, that's not natural.
Blue Lotus is not that dangerous on its own, although mixing it with alcohol or other drugs is not recommended. For harm reduction purposes, it's always recommended to start with a low dose first to see how your body reacts. There's no evidence of long-term harmful effects when Blue Lotus is used responsibly. In the United States, Blue Lotus is not a controlled substance. That means it isn't scheduled by the government and it can be legally purchased and possessed in the form of teas, extracts, dried petals, and even gummies. In the US, Blue Lotus is federally legal with the notable exception of Louisiana, where it's banned for human consumption within that state. Globally, the legality of Blue Lotus varies, with most countries permitting its use while a select few have imposed restrictions due to its psychoactive properties. The countries of Latvia, Poland, and Russia have either restricted or banned it. But other than that, Blue Lotus is legal in most countries worldwide. Now that we got the vital information out of the way, let's begin the review. And remember, I am not encouraging the recreational use of this substance. Any actions depicted are conducted for journalistic and research documentation only. Anyway, the first one we will try is the gummies. These are pre-dosed, convenient, and easy to consume edibles. I have two different lovely brands here, so I will be able to review and try both. The first brand I have here is from Minnesota Nice Ethno-Botanicals. This company is great. They have all sorts of high quality legal herbal remedies from Blue Lotus to Amanita muscaria mushroom. Packaging is pretty simple, just a clear see-through baggie, and we got 20 gummies dosed at 300 milligrams each, and it looks like they are blueberry flavored. Blueberry Blue Lotus gummies. Of course, they got a warning on the back. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, or prevent any disease. Minnesota Nice Botanicals is not liable for overuse or misuse of this product. I'm gonna pop open the baggie here. Got a real earthy smell to it. Earthy berries. It's for sure got that blueberry scent to it. Let's go ahead and eat one.
Cookie! Nom, 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 oh, nom, 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 nom.
Not bad, not bad. Yeah, that's probably blueberry flavored. Some sort of berry. Let's eat another one. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so we got 2 gummies down the hatch of this brand, and now we're gonna pop open this bottle from the brand Altruistic. Looks like these gummies are dosed a little higher at 350 milligrams each, containing the full spectrum of Blue Lotus extract. Minnesota Nice, a little bit more simple packaging, not too shabby. Altruistic has more branding on it. Blue Lotus gummies, sleep, good dreams, relaxation, and euphoria. Suggested use: take 1 gummy for sleep, 2 to 4 for stronger effect, may be felt within 1 hour and lasts up to 4 to 6 hours. Blue Lotus was known by the ancient Egyptians as the flower of intuition. They used it to create altered states of consciousness. It can induce a state of euphoria, a heightened state of awareness, mental and muscle relaxation, and promote a restful sleep and vivid dreams. Sounds pretty rad to me. And it looks like these gummies are blueberry lemon flavored. So it looks like blueberry is a common typing for the flavor that Blue Lotus gummies come in. Let's go ahead and pop this bottle open. A little different shape here, a bit flatter. Smells basically the same as the other gummies. They're both blueberry flavored, although this one has lemon in it as well. Let's go ahead and try one out. More malleable for sure. It's got a blueberry flavor with a lemon aftertaste to it. Not bad, not bad. More easily chewable, kind of melts in your mouth more than this one, a little bit harder in the mouth to chew. Regardless, both gummies, pretty good. Let's go ahead and get another one. Pretty decent flavor, not bad. I want to eat more, but let's see what the lower dose feels like first, and then we'll probably take a lot more. I'm already feeling pretty good. I can kind of feel it kicking in a little bit in the slightest sense. I would say the most I'm noticing right now is a mood uplift. Pretty light, pretty subtle, nothing crazy, but it could be placebo, but I feel like I'm coming up a little bit. Friendly reminder that this is an educational video for research purposes. I'm simply sharing my personal honest experience for journalistic documentation. Back to the video. All right, so now that we ate some of the gummies, it's time to move on to the dried flower. We'll be using the petals of the flower to brew a tea, which is the traditional way of enjoying Blue Lotus. Once again, we got 2 different brands here. This one from Minnesota Nice contains the untrimmed dry whole flowers, while the Altruistic brand also contains the dried flowers, but they are cut into finer, smaller pieces. Beautiful looking flower, and honestly, it's more purple than blue. Basically purple flower petals with yellow buds. It smells super sweet, and it's got a highly pungent and unique floral aroma to it. You could probably make a perfume out of this if you really wanted to. The texture is extremely dry, which is good and exactly what we're looking for. Packaging of the Minnesota Nice brand is once again pretty simple. It more so showcases the natural beauty of the flower itself. The Altruistic one is more branded for sure. The suggested use is to take 1 to 2 tablespoons of flower, per cup of tea. Adjust the amount based on your taste and potency preference. Pour hot but not boiling water over flowers. Strain after 5 minutes, drink and enjoy. It also says, discover the serene benefits of Blue Lotus with our premium flowers. Organically grown in Sri Lanka, this ancient Egyptian botanical is celebrated for its calming and euphoric effects. Relaxation promotes a sense of peace and tranquility. Mood enhancement elevates mood and supports emotional balance. Mindfulness aids in meditation and mental clarity. Blue Lotus may also support easeful sleep and promote vivid dreams. Big old box I got sent out by Minnesota Nice, where ancient wisdom meets modern needs. Pretty rad boxing. Even got the little shroomy with dudes meditating next to it. And last but not least, we cannot forget about the extract form, as this stuff is the most potent and concentrated out of all the Blue Lotus products we have. It smells extremely pungently earthy. If dirt had a pleasant smell to it, it would probably smell like this. It essentially smells like I stuck my nose in a pile of fresh dirt. The difference is that this is magic dirt. It looks exactly like how it smells, and it's not even bad. Okay, so now we're gonna brew our tea. Most recipes suggest 2 to 5 grams, but you guys know me, we're gonna go with 7 grams. In this case, I used about 1/8 of flour from each brand, totaling 7 grams. After the flour is weighed out, we're going to place it into our desired beverage glass. Then we take out the hot water that is not boiling, but still pretty hot, and pour that over the petals inside the glass. Then we let the flour steep for 5 to 10 minutes. We'll do 15 just to be safe, and it doesn't hurt to stir it once or twice to help release the flavor into the brew. Once that's done steeping, the liquid should have a nice tint of purple to it and the flowers will be soggy. Next, we carefully dump the liquid through a strainer and into a pot. Doing this removes the flower petals and leaves us with a clear Blue Lotus infused tea. Now all we have to do is take the remaining liquid and pour it into our desired drinking glass. You can add an artificial sweetener if you want, like sugar or honey, but we're gonna leave this raw so we can give the full, pure, authentic review. All right, we got the tea ready right here, and just look at that color. Beautiful looking tea. It's a magenta-esque color, I would say, magenta-ish, brown-ish. Oh, that smells like flowers, that's for sure. Like slightly sweet flowers. Not as sweet as the flowers itself, but you can smell the Blue Lotus inside of it. All right, let's give this a go. Pretty bitter. That's pretty bitter, but not bad. Your average beer is more bitter than this, except there's no carbonation in this. Way more bitter than anything else. Probably would benefit from using an artificial sweetener like honey or sugar, but we raw dogging it. I don't give a f. For good measure, we're gonna add a pinch of this extract into the tea. All right, we're gonna pinch this little extract just like that. That little magic brown dirt. Stir that in like so. Ooh, gives it a little bit more of a brown color to it. See how the flavor is in just a sec. That is some sticky powder. It's sticking to my fingers, sticking to my pants, sticking to the spoon. One more pinch for good measure. Mix that bad boy in. I happen to find a kitty, so let's see what he thinks of it. We're not gonna let him drink it. What do you think of it? All right. He likes it. Oh, he wants to sip it. You ain't getting nothing though. Mr. Kitty. Let's see what he thinks of the flower. Blue Lotus. What you think, boy?
Huh?
Ozzy likes the Blue Lotus, huh? Oh. Okay. Man, it just smells of Blue Lotus in this fucking room now. Oh, hey, I found another cat. Let's see what she thinks. Blue Lotus? What do you think, girl? Blue Lotus?
Nope.
She's not phased. Not phased by the Blue Lotus. I am kind of feeling a little bit. I feel just uplifted in the slightest sense. I don't feel any sort of buzz or anything. I just feel a mood boost. Let's sip the freshly brewed with a pinch of extract mixed in concoction of Blue Lotus tea. Okay. The extract did change the flavor a little bit. It kind of canceled out a little bit of the bitteriness. Really not bad at all. I wouldn't drink this for fun, but the fact that it has something in it, I can tolerate the bitteriness and drink this. I really just want to chug this right now. Let's do it. Cheers. Not bad. Leaves a little bit of a bitter aftertaste that kind of dissipates after like a few seconds. Oh man, I got a little head rush going on now. Not like a crazy rush, but I can kind of, it almost feels like my blood vessels are illuminating within my brain. Chugging that was the right idea. Feeling good, a little bit loose, nothing crazy. I don't want to overhype the effects or anything, but I'm feeling it. Kind of like a nootropic ish, kind of maybe like an alpha GPC mood boost. I'm not getting any visuals or anything. I mean, that's not really to be expected unless you're dreaming, of course. I'll have to try that out later tonight. I'll report back later tonight about the dreaming. I feel a little bit light in my shoulder area, and then I feel something in this area of my head. It's illuminating in the slightest sense. Mood lift for sure. Absolutely have a mood lift right now. Nothing crazy or over the top, but I mean, I feel it a little bit. Let's go ahead and eat some more of these gummies. Gummies taste better than that tea. Like I said, the tea, I wouldn't drink it for fun. You know, I wouldn't just drink it like soda or Gatorade or anything. Would not do that, but I would drink it knowing that it has effects within it. Kind of like beer in a sense.
Cheers, I'll drink to that, bro.
We'll test out that dream potentiation later tonight. You guys already know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you straight how it is. So we'll see what's up with it. Not bad gummies. Not bad gummies. I ate about 10 gummies so far. You're only supposed to eat 1 to 4, but you know how it is with me. Drank an entire glass of that tea with 7 grams of brewed flowers in it, and we added a hint of that extract as well, mixed inside of that tea. So we got a good amount of some Blue Lotus flowing through my body right now.
You know, get those juices flowing again.
Feel a little bit loose right now, you know what I mean? So like nothing crazy, you know what I mean? I don't want to overhype it. I keep it real in this channel. You know how it is. Not bad, man. Not bad. I feel loose. I'm feeling it. I kind of just want to eat that whole fucking bag of gummies, dude. But I'm not going to do it because we gotta kind of wait for the effects to kick in right now. Let's see what's up. I'm going to come back. We'll see what's up.
2 hours later.
All right, so it's been about 2 hours since I ingested all that Blue Lotus, and I have a few thoughts so far. I'm absolutely not high. I don't really have a buzz going on. I'm not like faded or messed up or anything. That being said, I do have a substantial mood lift that is very noticeable. I can see where the dopaminergic effects come from because it feels like, not that I have a rush of dopamine, but I just feel happier and elated.
I'm elated.
Hey, I'm elated too.
It's very pleasant. I can totally see myself continuing to experiment with this and see what's up with it. No hallucinations, no crazy head buzz or anything like that, no intense body high, but I just feel really positive and I'm in a very good mood. I took a decent amount too, well above the average dose. So for me not to get any intense effects, even at a very high dose, that at least speaks to the intensity of what this kind of thing will yield. I still gotta test out the lucid dreaming effect of it, so I'm gonna eat a bunch of more gummies tonight and then go to sleep and see what it does. I can see what they mean by Blue Lotus inducing mild euphoria because it is very mild. Nonetheless, it's there and it is doing something to my mood. No rush, no crazy sensations, but I'm just in a very positive, uplifted mood right now. So far, I give it a thumbs up. Regarding the intensity of it, very low. If anything, it's in the background, even more in the background than typical nootropics. So don't expect to get any crazy head rush or visuals or anything like that, but you can expect to get essentially a positive mood boost. This is probably one of the smoothest mood boosts of any supplement or substance I've ever tried. Smooth in the sense that there's no high at all. It's just my baseline mood is elevated. So smooth, you can't even feel the rush, but you can feel the mood boost.
12 o'clock midnight.
All right, so it's getting pretty late here at night, and now it's time to really put the lucid dreaming effects of Blue Lotus to the test. The Blue Lotus I had earlier today was pretty nice. It was super subtle, but the dopaminergic effects were felt and I was in a great mood. But now let's see how it affects the dream world. Normally the standard dose is like 1 to 3 gummies, but I'm gonna go ahead and eat like 15 to 20 of them so I can really see what Blue Lotus is capable of with potentiating dreams. The goal is to crank this up to the next level and hopefully get the most insane, vivid, outlandish dreams possible. It would be super lit if I could hit that lucid dreaming state where you're aware that you're dreaming and can actually control the dream itself. So let's see what's up with it. Will it be a wild trip through my subconscious or just another night of regular sleep? Let's find out. It's gummy time, baby. All right, we got a handful of Minnesota Nice Botanicals gummies, so. That's good. Not gonna lie, I didn't even count how many that was, but I'm gonna guess at least 5. You guys probably go back and pause it, see how many that was. I'm just gonna eat all these. Blueberry lemon, Blue Lotus. All right, I've already lost track of how many I've eaten, but we're just gonna keep going here. There's not many even left really in this pack. I just opened this today. 2 of each. Flavor wise, they're both fairly similar. Should I just eat the rest of this? I like this flavor more than this. Screw it, I'm just gonna eat the rest of it. There's 20 in here at the beginning of the day. About to be 0. Oh, I found a kitty. I think she wants some. Yo, that is a lot of blueberry flavor in my mouth right now. It's good though. It's very good. She probably heard me eat and she's like, I want some food. What's going on with him? I feel like I've eaten like 20 already. I mean, there's 20 in here. I ate some earlier today, obviously. Let's just keep eating some more of these, you know? All right. I think I ate enough. That's gotta be enough, right? If the average dose is 1 to 3 gummies, I'm about to be lit, right? At least my dreams are. We'll see. Let's go, man. Yo, I'm ready to hit that dream world, that 4th dimension, you know what I mean? I'm ready to hit the dream world, yo. I'm ready to transcend into the 4th dimension while sleeping. Will this make me trip balls in my sleep? We will find out. But yeah, I just ate a boatload of those gummies. Now it's time to hit the hay and crash for the night. I'll check back with you guys tomorrow morning. What you got, Blue Lotus? Let's see what's up with it.
Day 2.
All right, guys, so it looks like I made a bit of a mistake, but it's okay because it's all for research purposes. Basically, I ate a little bit too much of those gummies. Let me explain. So as I was lying in bed last night, my body felt floaty. I could almost feel these hypnosis waves irradiating above my head, but I couldn't fall asleep. I think because I took so many gummies, the influx of dopamine from the Blue Lotus was keeping me awake. So it made it harder to fall asleep, and I didn't get very good sleep at all, actually. But that was user error. I wanted to induce lucid dreaming, but instead did the opposite.
I can't sleep. I can't sleep.
Yeah, of course you can't. You
Took too much Blue Lotus.
Because I was having trouble falling asleep, I ended up just DJing in my living room and jamming out for a bit. And let me just say, that Blue Lotus is a vibe, that's for sure. It uplifted my mood and had me vibing pretty good while I was jamming out. At some point, I decided to mix a tiny bit of ketamine with it as well, and turns out that's a pretty solid combo. For whatever reason, they mesh very well together. It's almost as if the ketamine and Blue Lotus were holding hands in my brain. But anyway, the fact that I couldn't fall asleep due to the dopaminergic effects proves that Blue Lotus does in fact do something. I've seen people say, oh, I don't feel it, blah, 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 but I can assure you that although it may not feel like a high or buzz, it does play around with your neurotransmitters and is indeed doing something to your brain. It's like a background feeling to the background feeling. So not only is the feeling in the background, but it's in the background of the background. Probably one of the cleanest mood boosts out of anything I've ever tried. What I mean by that is I don't physically feel anything particularly in or around my head, but my mood and mind is substantially elevated. Even with the macrodose, I still didn't really feel a physical buzz, but the mood, mind, and dopamine effects I can absolutely attest for and confirm that it was working. I'm glad that I did that macrodose because it really showed Blue Lotus's true colors. It puts you in a fantastic and jolly mood, and the feeling is super smooth. And like I said, you can't really physically feel a buzz or anything, it's just that your inner mind mood is elevated. I want to say that it's stimulating, but it doesn't feel like a traditional stimulant. You don't get a rush, you don't get a buzz, and you don't feel wired. That being said, my mind felt great. My mood was stimulated and operating on a higher frequency, which was notable. I'm thinking about putting some of that extract powder, that magic dirt stuff, I'm thinking about putting some of that into capsules and taking it as a pill, because I feel like that would be an easy way to induce a clean mood boost in the simple form of a capsule. So let's try it out. I put a little over 1 gram in total across these 3 pill capsules, so I'm gonna go ahead and pop them right now. The Blue Lotus extract kind of reminds me of Shilajit powder. It's a very sticky brown residue looking substance. So yeah, we'll see how this potential mood boost goes, and then later tonight I'm going to take a normal low dose of 2 gummies so I can still go to sleep and hopefully get those spiritual vivid dreams. Last night those gummies felt really good, but it didn't allow me to go to sleep, so tonight we're doing a redo. And I would be lying to you if I said I got any lucid dreaming. I didn't really get anything at all. But that's why we're doing a redo with a low dose this time. In the words of Bob Ross, we don't make mistakes, just happy accidents.
We don't make mistakes. We have happy accidents.
Of course, this video is for science, so we're just experimenting here. That's all we're doing. I'll catch you guys in a few.
Tomorrow.
Alright, so it is now the following day, and here are my thoughts. When I took those pills containing the 1 gram of extract, I didn't really feel anything. It seems like the only time I felt something from the Blue Lotus was when I took it in large amounts, and even then the feeling was very subtle. If you're the type of person that has a hard time perceiving effects from nootropics, or you have trouble observing what mild cognitive enhancers do to your brain, then you would probably think that Blue Lotus isn't even doing anything. At the very least, I would consider Blue Lotus to be a background dopamine boost, and I would not consider Blue Lotus to be a legal high. At low doses, I would deem it as a very mild nootropic, and at high doses, I would mark it as a clean and seamless mood enhancer. Anyway, I ended up eating 2 more gummies at night, and this time I was able to fall asleep. Now, I don't recall having any insane or mind-bending dreams, but I did experience lucid dreaming to a certain degree. Lucid dreaming is defined as becoming aware that you're dreaming while still inside the dream, and often being able to have some level of control of what happens within it. And I can confirm I did experience this, although it's hard to say whether or not the Blue Lotus had any real influence on it or not. I want to say that it did have influence just because that's what everyone says it does, but it was so subtle that it's hard for me to definitively say without experimenting further. I'd probably have to continue doing this at least 10 more times to truly grasp the degree of impact it's actually having on my dreams. That being said, I was able to control the direction of my dreams last night fairly well and was aware of myself doing so. But honestly, I've always kind of been good at lucid dreaming on my own since I was a young child. For whatever reason, my brain is wired in a way that has always been able to slip into these lucid dreaming states completely naturally. And that's why it's difficult for me to pinpoint the exact influence the Blue Lotus had on my dreams. I already tend to lucid dream organically more nights than not. So did Blue Lotus help me engage in that further? Maybe, but it's hard to say. If you're not good at lucid dreaming or don't experience it naturally, then maybe Blue Lotus would help you out a bit. But as someone who does it all the time on my own, it's hard to say exactly how much impact that Blue Lotus really had. Notably, I also had very slight closed-eyed visuals, just random wispy shapes and patterns in darkness, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. It was more so the typical things you see when you close your eyes in the dark while drifting off into sleep. So here's the bottom line from everything I've learned from taking Blue Lotus. First of all, Blue Lotus is subtle. It's not a hard psychedelic by any means. Expect a gentle mood lift more than a tangible buzz. At low doses, even experienced drug users may not feel much, if any at all. The higher doses is when it shines best, but it's still basically just a mood enhancer and light and pathogen. Don't expect any crazy rush or intense high from this. The gummies tasted pretty good, and obviously that will vary with each brand. The tea I brewed from the dried flowers was pretty decent. It was bitter, but it wasn't bad. I would gladly sip that tea knowing that mood boosting effects will follow. The extract is the most pungent and potent, useful if you want a stronger effect, but measure carefully. All in all, I probably will not continue using Blue Lotus, but I'm glad that I gave it a good shot. What's more important is that you guys can learn from my experience and form your own opinions of whether or not you think it's worth it. Internet science at its finest. If you're a tea enthusiast, I would recommend checking out Blue Lotus tea, because usually teas are fairly subtle anyway, and Blue Lotus fits perfectly within that category of relaxing substances. Other than that, it's low risk and non-addictive, so it doesn't hurt to try it if you're actually interested in it. Just keep your expectations low because it's not going to blow you away. If I had to sum up the effects of Blue Lotus in one sentence, I would say that it feels like a smooth, gentle wave that elevates your baseline mood, making you feel happier and elated without being overwhelming. All in all, Blue Lotus is a fascinating herb with deep history, a variety of forms, and subtle, relaxing effects. With that being said, watch this video next to see me Blue Lotus. Not only can you eat and drink Blue Lotus, but you can and inhale it to get effects as well. So be sure to check out my Blue Lotus review next. My name is Fish and I stay low key. Peace out.